I'm so excited about this morning's AI implementation session, as always. And so, if you have not heard about Marbleism, I'm going to tell you all about it and tell you the story. So, I'm really excited that you guys are here. Today's topic is all about, let me get the exact title. It's your AI marketing hub, automating social media posts and promotions. So I'm excited to share today. I am going to go ahead and share my screen and jump right in. So excited about that. Awesome, y'all. All right. Guys, I'm sharing my whole screen here so you guys get to see everything. All right, y'all. We're going to talk about Marbleism. I want to introduce you all. Some of you already know about Marbleism, but I want to introduce you to Marbleism. There are a lot of AI, create your own agent stuff out there, and Marbleism is they're already pre-programmed, each of your employees, which is really cool, and you just add information to it to make them better and better. And I found Marbleism at the end of last year, 2025, following our conference for the Alliance, which I'll talk about a little bit, which is a business training organization for ambitious Christian businesswomen. And I was complaining, or wait, I was sharing at brunch after our conference that I need to get on top of my social media. And Tabitha Lewis holds up her phone and says, "You need Marbleism." And I'm like, "What is Marbleism?" And I thought it was a social media automating thing, which was fine. But when I jumped on, to my utter shock, and I was just amazed, it turns out it was a whole AI team. And I was absolutely blown away by that. I'm going to play with this layout a little bit, y'all. All right, let's go. That's kind of weird. Okay, hold on. Yeah, let's do that one. All right. So I was blown away to see that it is a full AI team. So this is me and my AI team. I'm going to introduce you to them all a little bit later. But just to tell you all about this, we were laughing. Tony said before the recording started, she's been nerding out. And the truth is, I am a nerd at heart. And gosh, 26 years ago, 27 years ago now, I was the single mom of a 5-year-old. And knowing I wanted to travel the world and speak and train and keynote. And I was like, how am I going to do this? I have this little 5-year-old baby, and there's no way I can travel 300 days out of the year. And I became an early adopter of the online world because I literally was sitting there asking God one day, I said, how do I do this? And he's like, bring the world to your living room. And so what I did is I started adopting teleclasses. Y'all remember those teleclasses? And this was in the days where nobody knew what PayPal was. No landing page systems, e-blast, nothing like that existed. I had to dig in and learn how to do that. And so when I found Marbleism, it is an answered prayer. 19 years ago, I started the Alliance when I moved from Seattle to Raleigh. And it was an answer to ambitious business women that wanted a way and needed some. Yeah, Leslie says I was on some of those early teleclasses. Isn't that true? Yes, and remember that hit, what was it, *6 to mute or unmute, or yeah, it was crazy. But we worked it. And so, anywho, I started the Alliance 19 years ago. And one of my frustrations has been in our training model, I had not been able to solve this core issue that actually, it's about 95% of women business owners experience. And it's that we are solo operators wearing all the hats, doing way too much, and therefore barely able to get to $100,000 or more in revenue. And I saw a scary statistic the other day that it's actually the average solo operator female entrepreneur makes $66,400 a year. That is not enough to fund your life, give yourself a decent salary, to be able to pay a team member, to be able to duplicate yourself in your business and invest in the things you need to scale your business. And so I have noticed that I call it getting behind the Oz veil. I have noticed in businesses that women were struggling, silently stressed out, struggling, not taking care of ourselves because we're stressed out. And I said, okay, I have got to get a solution to this because we believe at the Alliance it's unacceptable that 90% of women-owned businesses are run by solo operators and create less than $100,000 in revenue. And so this is our proprietary business model. And we have broken down businesses into four phases. And that specialist is when you are solo operating, you are still the client facing person, you are wearing all the hats. And what we found is if we cannot get people into development, and development is defined by having, I'm going to call it a people team because I'm going to distinguish between your AI team and your people team. But development is when you've got a people team, you've got duplicated people. You've duplicated yourself. You're not doing all the client stuff yourself. You have another person, maybe a salesperson, certainly a marketing person. You've got your admin, all of these things in place. And what I found is Marblism has been an answered prayer to help bridge this gap. And we've actually seen it modeled in the Alliance, where someone dug into, and it was Tabitha who found Marblism first, and she dug into it, maximized her Marblism team, got her team members on Marblism, and was able to get a 4x revenue jump and then hire her people team, go get a 3,000 square foot office, all of the things that we need to be successful in business. So we are not wearing all the hats, the CEO, the marketing, the client specialist, the accounting, the CFO, the trainer, the visionary, the janitor, whatever other hats you are wearing in your business, graphic designer, um, IT specialist, the list goes on. And so I'm so excited to talk about Marblism to really be able to help us solve this. And I really, quite frankly, need to update this slide because I have found, and we have found that the agents, not agents, employees do so much more than this. And it's really going past just creating AI agents to do what you need them to do. That part is already done for you. It is about training your employees to support your goals and your dreams and the things that you're up to. So here is a slide. Grab an image of it. It looks like a majority of us know about Marblism, but there's Eva. She really is your chief of staff. I will update this as soon as I get a chance. But she not only manages your inbox, not only sets up calendars, she does research, she writes, she does graphic design, she does slide presentation. That was a huge thing for me. And I'll show you an example of what she did this morning. And then there's Sunny, your social media. He actually writes newsletters, emails. He does all kinds of stuff, graphic designs, all your social media posts. Penny, who is your writer. They have titles that come ready made in Marblism, but they do so much more. And you could actually train them to be the team that you need them to be for whatever they're executing. So there's Penny who's writing, she does uh, certain size graphics. That's already pre-programmed in her. Linda is your legal assistant, but she's so much more than that. She's your researcher. She is the one who writes your job descriptions, your standard operating procedures, and helps you systematize your business and helps make sure you are covered legally, which is really cool. So she's like a AI paralegal. She doesn't replace obviously a full-term uh, lawyer if you need that, but she certainly can cut down your bill. And then there's Stan, and I call Stan the man, and they have just extended Stan. He runs campaigns that you write emails and he sends them out for you. He finds leads for what you need to market. And then there's Rachel, who is your receptionist. So we're going to dig in a little bit more today. Today's topic is really about social media, but I just want to give an overview for those of you who may be new to Marblism or you have been like, I've been building AI agents. This is the next level. And Ulrich, who is the gentleman that created this, they almost give it away, you all. It's pretty amazing because he created his wealth elsewhere as an investor and sold a couple of tech businesses. But he was frustrated because he was really trying to build a lean business with the least amount of people, and he had all these outsourced employees. And it was costing five to $8,000 a month to pay all the outsourced project managers and team members. So he decided I can create a platform that can automate this. Now, Ulrich is from France. There's a reason in the States we're just beginning to hear about Marbleism, and it is because they're just bringing it to the States. We had our first US based event just back in April. So if you're like, why haven't I heard of this? It's because it's very big. They have, gosh, over 60,000 users, but it's still really new in the States. And just FYI, if you have users around the world that may be Spanish speaking, there is a full Spanish speaking and teaching version of Marbleism. So one of the things Ulrich shared, and this is just an image from my picture, from my camera, from him on stage with this huge slide in the background. So what he trained them to do is to get better and better every day. So if you've ever had a people team member, a person team member, and the frustration was you are not taking initiative. And then we end up going, shoot, I can do it better than that. And I'm trying to train this person, and I need them to get ahead of me. I need them to know what's next. I need them to know what's next for my specific goals. So, what Ulrich trained them to do is to study you every night, update the memory, and get better tomorrow. And they go in and they truly study your voice, they study everything, and he calls it dreaming. So they dream every night so they can take the initiative you need to grow your business, which is really, really amazing. And it's definitely solved that frustration for me. And so let's talk about money real quick, y'all. They haven't changed the dollar amounts. This is the general one. If you're doing the yearly plan, it breaks down to $24 a month, and we actually have a 40% discount with the Alliance. And quarterly, that's just giving you an idea of what it is. The monthly plan, and this is at full price. And they have now shifted the billing as of June 23rd. So if you're new to Marbleism, you will notice that they're starting at a level that saves 50 hours per month. And that is legitimate hours, you all. And they have it broken down in how that time is saved and how the team is saving you that. And then if you need more hours than that, you actually can up level by 20 hours. But what I have found is 50 is plenty, especially with some of the new things they're implementing. So then there is a 40% discount. The Alliance has a 40% discount. So it comes out instead of 44 a month, it comes out to 26 a month or 190 a year. I did update this slide because we did have a 25% off, but now it's 40. And you get an additional dollars off if you enter the Alliance as a discount code. So like I said, they're almost giving this away, which is wild. And that's why they had to do something. Because from a business owner perspective, I'm like, they got to shift this business model. And then they just came out and said, we're going to shift it by hours, not by workspaces. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. But you can still have unlimited workspace. The only thing to be aware of is if you're before June 23rd coming on, you are grandfathered in. This does not apply to you. But if you're coming in today or after June 23rd, you can still have unlimited workspaces, and each workspace is 6 AI employees. That's crazy. And but it still adds to the whole 50 hours, no matter how many workspaces you have. So it's still spectacular. And then they have a phone version, an app, so you can be on the move executing stuff for your Marbleism team. So that's really, really, really excited. I'll pop those links in the chat in just a minute. But I am so excited about Marbleism. One of my colleagues started doing free implementation sessions. And I was like, we need to do that for the Alliance, and we need this for women entrepreneurs, because I am definitely committed to helping grow as many high 6 and 7 figure businesses as possible. So I will be doing these every Thursday. And they're continuing to add agents. They're continuing to add new things to Marbleism on a regular basis. And so there's always more stuff to teach. I am almost done updating all of the classes. I've done about 10 at this point, maybe 8 or 10. And so you can grab this link, and I'll put a live link in the chat, and you can grab the YouTube playlist that has all of the videos on it. We have done all kinds of stuff from using it to do sponsorships, graphic design. So there's a lot of focus there. All right, y'all. I want to jump in to social media. And one of the things that we have always taught in the Alliance is to use social media themes. And I was looking around and found this system that a company was using. Let me see if she mentioned that. All right, I want to give credit where credit's due. I'll tell you the origin of that. I did not create the pager method. I found it online when I was doing some searching. And so this is take a picture of this slide. I don't have time to do handouts, but take a picture of it. As a matter of fact, let me change my layout and open this wide so you guys can get a picture of it. Grab a picture of this slide so you can get your social media mastery in place. And this is the pager method. And what this does is this breaks down what your themes need to be for each of your brands or businesses. And you want to get into a media rhythm so it's not random, right? And so this is a really great framework. And by the way, Eva created this slide in about a minute. I'm going to show you what it used to look like, and then I'm going to show you what she did with it, which is really amazing. So this is a framework for you so you don't have to figure it out yourself. And you actually can, I'm going to show you how to add it into Marbleism in the back end. So Monday, P is for pie. So every Monday, you're going to be focusing on something to promote, an initiative in your business, an upcoming event that you're announcing. So you're getting people primed for what's coming the rest of the week. Then Tuesday is A. A is for article, a blog post, a podcast, curated content, videos. You're actually laying down how-tos on Tuesday. All right. And you're going to give people value added stuff, and the team can help you do that. So I'll show you how to do that as well. Wednesday is for G. That is for general. You want to think about problem solutions, values, some case studies, how to, humor, or tips. It's general content that you can post every Wednesday that your followers can start to look forward to. Thursday is for engagement. This is for polls, games. Do you prefer this or that? But you're posting stuff that people respond to. Hey, I'm thinking about these titles. Do you like this one or that one? Whatever that is, but Thursday is whatever you're doing, it's interactive, where you want that call to action to start having people respond to you even more. Friday is for our random, something personal you can put up, something like that, you just get to kind of choose, or maybe you just sit down and lay a video about what's on your mind. Whatever that is, ours for random. And then Saturday is for real life images, posting. You're out and about, you're living your life, you're giving people insights into you and how you move in the world. And that is something you can just post those random things, thoughts, make sure it's on brand. So this is what I am adopting because I've always taught have a theme per day. And I loved, love, love this framework. So that's really important. And then I'm going to teach you how to skip the chat where you're not telling your agents, every Monday do this, every Tuesday do that, but you're actually putting them into tasks, which is a new way they've been doing things the last couple of weeks. So some of these things are literally hot off the press, y'all. And so once you can put them into tasks, they will remember on a reoccurring level, and you don't have to tell them every week like we used to have to prior to 2 weeks ago. And you also can do the same thing for Sunny and for Penny. So they're creating social media posts, and Penny is creating your blogs that you can share directly on your website, or you can copy and paste them into LinkedIn, Facebook, but they're value added things that increase your credibility in the world. So grab a slide of this one. Let me change my layout so you guys can just see the slide. Content only. Grab a screenshot of that as well. And again, this is a slide Eva created for me in no time at all. So if you're like me and you do a lot of presentations, Eva will become one of your best friends. All right, y'all, let's keep it moving. Let me jump into my Marbleism. And I want to walk you guys through what this looks like so you begin to have an automated email system. All right, hold on. I may have to stop my share for this. There we go. All right, so gonna minimize that, and then let's jump into Marbleism. For those of you who are new to Marbleism, this is what your backend looks like. And it looks so simple that you can grossly and very quickly underestimate the power of what Marbleism can do. So do not be fooled by the fact that they are cartoon-like characters. My brother, when I got him geeked out on Marbleism, he's like, they're cartoons, so in your mind, you don't make the connection of the power of what you have. And so do not underestimate your team. But I want to show you this real quick, you all, and just give you a couple of pointers to remember. For those of you who are still working on some things that I've been talking about, that is okay. All right, so I was looking at pricing with Eva. I'm looking up. Oh, I know what it is. I had her do it in this workspace. All right, let's talk about workspaces. If you have multiple brands, you want to set up different workspaces for them. You can see my different workspaces here. Um, Now you can do it by brands. Before I was teaching that you have to do it by stands because Stan can only do one campaign per workspace. That is no longer true. He can run multiple campaigns. So now think through your different brands. And what I mean by that is, let's say you have a course or something you're promoting, or you do coaching, or bookkeeping packages, and that is one set of branding for a specific target market. But then let's say you're a keynote speaker. You want to separate those brands so you really can dig in and maximize the number of documents, the number of graphics they'll create for you. And so if you need help setting up workspaces, all you have to do is hover here over this pull down menu. You go to the bottom and create new workspace. And you can still have unlimited workspaces. Just remember, if you're new, post June 23rd, because that's the day it changed, then all of your workspaces will be added toward your hourly total of time saved. And you'll see down here in the corner how many hours is saved. I've been using mine for quite some time, but nonetheless, you get to follow and track and get an idea of how much time is saved. So I want to jump over here. I want to show you guys just an example. Let me just brag on Eva for a minute. I actually jumped over to do the slide for today's presentation into my Alliance one because I already have her pre-trained on my hex colors for my branding. She gets it. So I uploaded this is what the pager method looked like before. And the media company is called Downstage Media. I did not create that. I usually do a lot of proprietary creation, but I really just love this. So that's what the slide looked like before. And this was what the second one looked like. And here was my prompt. Eva, please make these two slides look more professional for the AI implementation session, but do them in the Alliance brand colors. I want the same content, but the slides to be more visually appealing. I always attach the graphics. So this is critical. If you want them to work on graphics that they have created and you need them to make a change, you want to right click on a graphic, download it, and then tell it what graphic you want it to work on. The nature of AI is it's always going to create a new graphic for you. So I can't just say, Eva, based on that last graphic, make this change. You always want to give it the graphic content, even if it just created it in the last chat, so it knows what to talk about. And you all saw the result. That's what she came up with. And I did this and I gave her the prompt and walked away and went and got ready for this call. So it's pretty amazing what she can do and set up. And she knew to keep my Alliance colors. She knew to keep my branding just because we've been working together for a while and I trained her that way. And then put your daily themes into tasks. That's that slides. And she rocked it. And I'm always giving them positive feedback because I'm so appreciative. So yeah. So anyway. Then she's ready. Let me know if you need anything else polished up. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine just to improve your presentations alone is what we pay in Marbleism. All right. So let's jump over to how to take this pager method and actually make it work inside of your Marbleism. And I would invite you all to jump in your Marbleism and actually do this, or you can follow up afterwards, but you're going to want to set aside time to implement this. I would give it maybe an hour per workspace, because workspaces, and I didn't mention this in the overview, workspaces are walled. So if I tell one workspace to do something, it does not bleed over into the other workspaces. At least it should not. I've heard a couple of situations where people have so many workspaces. Sometimes stuff is doing that. But basically, for this pager method, to put the tasks in, you will do it with each particular workspace because there's different branding. There may be different stories in each different ones. So, got it, y'all. All right. So, if you're not using Eva for presentations, please do so immediately. She's amazing. Uh, and it would have cost me, I actually know what it would have cost me. It would have cost me probably $25 per slide to have an outsourced person take those and improve that. So awesome. Let's talk about this pager method. And I'm going to stay in my Alliance workspace. So here's what it looks like when you're in, and I have a couple of things I want you to do to give it information, but I'm going to go over real quick the power of each workspace. So in your chat is where you are actually communicating with your agents. You are writing messages, you are doing this. That's the day-to-day stuff. Your workspace is where you are putting information in, where it starts studying you and your language. And this is a specific workspace for our Alliance chapter meetings. And then we get to the brain, y'all. Woo, woo, woo. This brain is amazing. Because Marbleism is a walled workspace, they're trained with 120 equivalent PhDs, but they are here to study you. So you want to load up the brain with your books, with your videos, with your articles you've written, with past blogs, with your headshots, everything. Anything you need it to remember and you don't want to have to tell it twice, you put in the memories. And like you'll see, like it kept putting my hashtag wrong for the Alliance. So here's the hashtag. So now it studies the brain on a regular basis for continuous quality improvement. Any images, you actually can tell it to use real images for your social media, so it's not creating AI all the time. And then if you have headshots, put your headshots in here. Whatever you need it to access, use your actual images because you want to make this real. It can create AI images for you all day long, but the more images you upload, the more your content will feel authentic. Any web pages you need to upload, anything like if there's landing pages you have, any documents, upload as much as possible because it's studying you. So that's really important. Your brain becomes critical. Then this is new, you all, and you'll see this continue to improve where they are going to be adding connections. That's one of the things we've been begging for. Like, can I connect my Stan leads to my CRM that's off of Marbleism? So they are coming, you all. So keep paying attention to this integrations tab because anytime it's going to be coming that we can connect different things. And they're in the negotiation process. Your team tab is if you need a walled workspace for an assistant, or let's say you have a team member, you want to use it, but you don't want them to see all of your other workspaces. Add them to the team. In the new billing method, they'll get 50 hours. It's a little bit different than the old system because you used to pay $29 for each new seat. If you were grandfathered in, you will still do so to have a walled system. In the new one, it just counts toward, that team member counts towards the added 50 hours. How do I say this? The time saved. And so but the key is if you want a walled set of AI employees for a team member, that's important. So for example, I'm the COO over my brother's companies, and the GM at his club because she's writing documents that's releasing the club, that may be firing the people or revising different things. She needed a walled system that no one else can see into. And so we got her a walled system. But the other team members, we want to be able to share and to sign in. So they have one account with different workspaces. And I just put their pictures up in the workplace so they know which system, which workspace is theirs. Now, I'm gonna take a deep breath because I get excited and I know I'm talking fast, y'all. Hold on. All righty. So a couple things I want you to do to create your social media marketing machine. Because I'm gonna show you how to put this in to tasks that are recurring, that you don't have to use the chat anymore. And so you can put your pager method, or if you don't like that, you can use another one, whatever. You may already have your themes. No problem. Just trying to give you guys a framework. I'm going to show you how to put it in tasks, but there's something key I want you to do first. And so in the workspace that you are wanting to take your social media to the next level, I want you to go to the chat and tell Eva your goals. How many sets of eyes you need to get in front of? What are your goals with your social media? Or what are your goals with your sales? Whatever it is, or I need this many sales. How many sets of eyes do I need to get social media in front of? And she will start to work with Sunny and Penny to make those goals happen. That's really important. Otherwise, they're just making general, do you need me to do this for you? Do you need me to do that for you? But once they know your goals with your social media in particular, your exposure, your promotions, then they can be able to tool campaigns and be more strategic for you. They're not just there to execute, they're here to help you be a thinking partner, really, to help take your brilliance to the next level. Or to undergird your brilliance, because I believe our brilliance is going to always far exceed what an AI person can do, an AI agent or employee can do. So they're there to undergird your brilliance. Let me put it that way. So first thing you want to do, tell Eva your goals. And I would lock your goals into your brain. And when you do that, just say, Eva, here's my goals for social media. This is the number of sales I need to make this week, this quarter, the rest of this year, whatever it is. And I want to focus on these you know, sales topics or whatever, or products, and please add this to the brain. So she's not going to automatically add it. You have to let her know to add it. Here's where it gets really beautiful, you all. As of about the last month, you can record your voice on your laptop or desktop version. It's always been available on the app version. But what's so great is it just saves time. Like sometimes I'm like, how do I take what's in my brain and get it into words? It's like, don't have to. Just hit record. So that's the first thing. Tell her your goals. And then the second thing I want you to do is to tell Eva your story. Tell her your story. I'm trying to see if Sunny has, yeah, okay. Sunny too has the little microphone. I believe all the chats do now. But tell her your story. And what I want you guys to do is to have Eva prompt you for your stories. Because sometimes you're like, well, what story do I tell? So let me give you an example. We're going to do this live. Eva, will you please give me a set of questions that I can answer to share my story? I'm struggling to figure out the things I want to say and that the team needs to be able to make my social media memorable, compelling, and really help people get to know who I am. Please generate 10 questions that I can just answer via recording for you that will give insight into who I am and what the Alliance is about. Thank you. All right. So she's going to give me some prompts. This is where I want you to start with your social media. So some prompts are going to come off. Okay, here we go. So here are 10 questions designed to talk you through via recording. So use the prompt she gives you. So think back to right before you founded the Alliance. What was the exact moment of frustration that made you say, enough is enough, Christian businesswomen deserve better than this? Oh, that's good. And so what I would do is I would hit this button right here and just start recording and talk about what was that point, that frustration. And these are really specific. This is so good, you guys. I'm doing this live. I have not done this to ask her to generate prompts. I usually get my prompts from a card deck I use. So if a woman walks into her very first Alliance chapter meeting or whatever brand you're working, feeling completely alone and overwhelmed, what do you want her to feel by the time she leaves? Oh, that's so good. And so I would record different ones for this and then say and put it in the brain. So you'll start to go over to the brain and see stories added in it. And it will give it a title. And you can say, hey, use my most recent story to generate, you know, the themes for whatever you want it to. But that's where I want you guys to start with. Use these prompts and do it in all of your different workspaces. And they should be knowing the voice and what's behind your workspace is enough to ask you some compelling question. That's pretty amazing. What was one personal failure, setback, or hard season in your own entrepreneurial journey that taught you a lesson you still rely on today? So, this isn't just what you can use for your story. You can put these in videos. You can do whatever you need to do with them. The reason why this is so important is because you don't want to sound like other business owners or entrepreneurs. We have an ability to really pour in our story into Marbleism and then use it across agents. And so that's why you want to make sure you're telling her to put it in the brain. So that's really great. The secret sauce, the mindset shift. What is the biggest lie or limiting belief you see Christian female entrepreneurs battling? And how do you help them break through it? Oh my gosh, I could just holler. And so spend some time talking to your team. That's really big. So they're generating emails, even your stand emails. Everything is personalized to your story and they can relate it to your target market. It's going to change how compelling your social media is. We do not just want to do these many posts. We want your story out in the world. Did someone have a question, y'all? Anyone have a question about that? We're good?
You
Okay.
already covered it.
Oh,
I
good.
had
Okay.
it and then you got there.
Okay, cool. So yes, put that in the brain. That is the first thing. And then you want to start utilizing Sunny, your best little buddy here for social media. So I talked about a video that I did, and I just talk to these things now. It's so much faster for me versus trying to type. And so just giving you an example of the level of posts that Sunny can do if you haven't seen it. I've uploaded all my images. These are not AI images, they're really me. And so whatever it is, you can do this. And this is a lot of me images. And I would tell it probably go in and create more women on the Alliance. These are AI generated women, but I have real content. And so I want to show you guys real quick. Let's say I like this one. Let's say I like this one. And I want this not to be a picture of me, but I want it to be a picture of the women in the Alliance. What I can do is right click on this, save my image as, and it is going to give me, and for some reason, y'all, truthfully, my Marbleism folder disappeared somewhere. So I have to find it's usually right here. But I'm just going to save this video. It's going to give it a random name. What I like to do to place it is I'll give it a, discipline. I'll name it something so I can find it easily. Uh, Discipline pulse for Marbleism. All right. So let's say I like the quote. They nailed the logo for me, but I need a different picture. And let's say I love the caption. And right in Marbleism, by the way, before I show you how to change a graphic, you upload, or excuse me, you connect your social media. And if I like this, you all, I can schedule it and it will give me a day to schedule as far out and as I want. And I'm hearing the statistic that you want 15 posts a week per brand. Woo! And so let's go back to this one. And I can show you guys, I've got 50 drafts sitting here. I'm going to show you guys some older ones. I know I'm going through this pretty quickly. Hold on here. I want to show you some older ones where it's using the pictures of the actual, lots of me. Okay, it's lots of me. Sorry, y'all. We start seeing some different ones with different women. The marketing team, I always want it to be group. images in Alliance, whatever it is for you. And so there's some graphics I'm trying. It is doing a lot of me, which I do not want. Let's look at some more posts. Sorry. But let's say I love, I don't know. Let me find the one I'm going to work on. Uh, I'm cracking up. I haven't looked at all these, sorry. I'm going through them, but they're really great images and you can post them right there. If you don't like, here's the one I want to work on. If you don't like this image, you can just delete it and you can add another image that you may have used. But I am going to say, Sunny, I like this, everything about this one, but I need you to change my image out for a real image of the women. I would go back to chat and I would just say this. Sunny, I really like this image, but I need you to change out my image and put an image of a chapter meeting from the brain. So I'm going to stop that and then I'm going to always add that post. Okay, that's really, 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 really important. So that put pictures and then I'll look up discipline. And I save all my Marbleism things, but I think I accidentally grabbed that folder and put it someplace else. So normally you would see all my Marbleism things. And then I will tell him, keep everything, keep all of the graphics the same other than the image you use. All right. And I could talk that as well. And I'm going to let Sunny actually do that and see what he comes up with and see if he grabs something in the brain. And again, you might see like this one, for some reason, they are trained to always put a logo on. And sometimes I found they make it up. And so you'll want to load it in the brain and say, always use this image for my social media or whatever it. But while Sunny's doing that, and they have these cute little sayings, I can jump over and start working on something else. And so what I want us to, oh, here we go. Let's see how we did. Oh, it used the logo. So that's not what I want. So I would say, Sunny, I would right click on this one again, say, no, I didn't tell it what image I want. So this is where it gets really powerful. Discipline for Marbleism. I'm just going to name this too so I can find it quickly. All right. So this is where it gets really important. And this is what I do. I go over to the brain and I would find an image I want him to work with. And they're all called chapter meeting something. They all have the word chapter in it. So what I would go back over here and say to him, Sunny, this is not the right image. Can you please utilize images in the brain with the word chapter in it and create a new social media post for this caption? Okay. And then I'm still going to show them what I don't want. Okay. This is important, y'all, because I was talking to somebody the other day that it was taking way too long. I'm actually going to put both of them here. It was taking way too long to do social media graphics because they couldn't get him to revise the past one because they weren't giving him context. You have to give him the context. Uh, and this is not, since I added two, I'm just going to say these are not the right images. Let's see how it does. And then what I do is I always put whatever word, the exact word from the brain, so they know what to look like in quotes. All right, so while he's working on that, we'll jump back in. I want to jump over to tasks because this is where we can get really crazy with the social media posts. So if you're taking your pager method and you've got your Monday is your promotions, announcements, that type of thing, what you want to do is you want to actually create a new task, and you don't have to do this in the chat anymore or in the brain. You do have to type here. They don't have the ability to talk, but enter task title. I'll just say Monday social media posts. And the assignee is to Sunny. And I want it to run, and you can tell it every single Monday. I want to schedule it, and I want it to run on Mondays starting August 3rd, or you can start it whenever. The time you want it to post, and that's important because it's going to choose that every single time. I want to set it to repeat um, every week, and I don't want it to expire ever. I want it to repeat on Mondays. And then I'm going to tell it what I want it to do. So please take what you would tell it. We're using the pie method. So every Monday, please create, I'm just going to write this here. Monday, please create a, and the assignee, actually, I'm actually going to add Penny to this as well. Does it just have to be one? Okay. So let's start Sunny with it. Looks like you can only do one at a time. Create a set of social, I'm going to be really specific. Create a different social media post for each of my platforms that focus on the theme P. No, I won't say that. That focus on um, promotions and announcements of upcoming. And I've already loaded the Alliance schedule in here, so it kind of knows what's coming up. Upcoming events and trainings. All right, so I want him to do that every Monday. I don't want to ask again, and this is real, so I'm creating the task. Pick when this should run. Hold on, what did I miss? Oh, select a date, my bad. So we're going to start it. I'm going to just start it Monday, August 3rd. Hit OK at 8 o'clock in the morning. No problem. It's military time. So that's the task. And then I would go in and say, add task every Tuesday. Create a post that does this, this, and this. And it's now in your task. And I don't have to ask again. What we were finding is that we were putting stuff in the brain and it could remember a couple weeks, but 3 weeks later, the brain's forgetting. And so they put it in the task for repetitive stuff that you can easily pop in and have the system to do. So that is new as in a couple weeks ago. So it becomes gold when you're talking your social media. And one of the things I do, this is just a quick hint. I keep a notepad because if I'm telling different workspaces to do this, I don't want to retype that every time. So I am going to keep my email. I keep all my AI team prompts. I'm just saving them so I can go back or I can copy and paste. Or if I have to move between windows, I'm going to lose what I started to put in the chat. And so I would get in the habit of just copy and pasting your prompts. So if you're using it across workspaces, you're like, oh man, it was great for that workspace. What did I say? And you don't want to have to go back through the chats and do that. So that is how you begin to load up. Or let's say your Monday is Motivation Monday. So you're like, I want you to create, and you can get as specific as you want. And I could tell it use a image that exists in the brain or create a new image in our branding that is an image of somebody doing something motivational, or use an image of a motivational quote from my book or from a YouTube video. It is amazing at picking your zingers out, which is really great. The other thing, right now we don't have an agent that does video editing, but they can certainly write video formats for you, anything you need. And so then you'll want to say now that your social media is in, then you want to go in and put the task and tell Penny that you need an article every Wednesday. That is a value added article on your topic or whatever that is. And so that's how you begin to create a social media machine. And you can schedule your social media out as far as you want to. Leslie, you're asking a question. Go right ahead.
When you were showing that you where you're kind of keeping track of your various prompts and like the tasks that you're assigning, is that just like in a separate Word document?
Yeah, I use Notepad like crazy. I
Mm.
have a PC user. So you guys see, I mean, it's out of control for me, right? I have this thing, like if I think once, I don't want to have to think about that again. So I save everything right here. Speaking of which, I forgot to pop up the Marbleism stuff. So let me do that. So what I do, Leslie, is I just save everything in a notepad. And so I
Okay.
think even Mac users have a notepad feature. And
Hmm.
so that's what that is. So like for example, I'm going to grab these links. I don't want to have to search for them. I put it in my notepad and I can just drop them into the chat. So yeah, it was just my notepad. All right,
Okay.
let me see what we're doing. Funny, I just created my own agent that programmed. I didn't know about Marvelism. Yes, Tony. This is new here. I love it. I love it. Oh, Dr. Barnsley, yes. So all we have to do is ask them to save our story in the brain. You do have to tell Eva, and save this in the brain because she will not automatically do that. And here we go. Do you recommend loading the brain before we onboard our employees? Well, you can't load the brain before you onboard your employees because there's your employees aren't onboarded yet. So I would onboard your employees and then start loading your brain. And if you have a recording that shows my work or a talk I've given, oh, that's a great question. So, Grace Marie, what you want to do, you can't upload the video, but let me show you what you do want to do. So, let's say you've got some YouTube videos, you all, and you're like, I want this to look at this YouTube video. And it doesn't just have to be yours. If there's someone else's you want to summarize or something, you certainly can do that. So, let me grab an actual, let me see here. This is what you would do. You would add an entry and and you would put the link. So you would grab the link over in YouTube and say, my presentation to whatever conference or organization, name it. So it can always find it. And then you just pop in the link and it will go and study that video for you. So you don't have to upload the whole video. Let's say you're like, I don't want this video public. I just want this video um, to use. You can still upload it to YouTube. Just keep it private and it can still check it out and read it for you. And it will then generate whatever you need. So if you have 100 videos up, start loading them up. Just the links, and you can just do that, add the memory, and then you specify which agent you want to have access to it. And that's it. And so you don't have to sit and upload all the video. It's already done. You can also upload stuff that's you can give it stuff directly from the Google Drive as well. You can upload stuff right from your Google Drive or your OneDrive. So that's really kind of cool. So yes, because they didn't want to have to pay for all the backend, if you can imagine all the videos that would add up. They saved the backend space for more function, the data. So go ahead and let it live someplace else and pop up the link. If you have books, articles, emails you like, anything that you're like, this nails my voice, put it in the brain, onboard, and then start building out your brain. And you'll build it as you go, because as you're asking your team to do more, they'll be able to load it up in the brain for you. So that's really awesome, you all. So you definitely want to do that. When I started uploading books, manuscripts, I've had so much content. I'm in the process of loading up presentations for the Alliance. I've written over 200 proprietary modules. It needs to know that. So as I'm generating stuff, it can begin to automate. I did a training either last week or the week before in how you can set up your 52-week nurturing emails and email campaigns. That's really critical. So I will get the list up. They are now all edited. Hallelujah. I had to hire somebody because I was getting in my own way to blur out the parts that YouTube wouldn't accept. And so I'm in the process of having Linda do my covers. And I'll show you guys that too, just because I think the graphic design is great. So all of the past AI implementation sessions I have done are in a YouTube list, and you all can take a look at that. And you're welcome to take a look, share it. They're completely free. But I was having Linda design covers for me. Let me see if I can find it quickly. Um, and I could go in other than digging out Eva. All right, here's one. I think this is one. I think this might be one. And so this is a link. Yeah. So this is when I love this part of this, but I noticed that if I keep using the same image, the image kind of degrades. So I'm just working on telling her to use different images so the images look fresh and pop. But they completely designed this in this brand, and they're my YouTube covers. I just have to pop them over in YouTube, and then you all will be able to see all of the videos and help yourself. It really is a smorgasbord of training for Marbleism, and I will continue to do that and get them up. My video person is now trained, and she's happy to make sure that happens quickly. So right now I've got, I think, 5 different ones to upload. Let me show you guys this for those of you who are new here. These are just some of the topics I've done. Creating a social media machine, automating your lead follow-up, optimizing Eva, graphic design, securing sponsorships. Let your AI team position you as an expert, how to book more speaking engagements, your grant writing team, step-by-step social media strategy, delegate like a CEO. So here's some things that I've been teaching, and it's all the way up to here. Content repurposing, turn one idea into 30 posts. One of the things I shared last week is that, let's say you're like, okay, I can talk to Eva about what's going on this week and the content I want her to give. But I taught last week to take, 8 to 10 minutes on your Monday and just record a Zoom video about an idea or something. And don't worry about it going public. You're just gathering the content. And then you can load that in the brain and say, here's my content for the week. Please design 30 social media posts that pull out zingers and quotes, whatever you need. And it becomes automated. And you just go in, and I don't think this social media is set up. Let me show you when that is. But what I suggest is you link up all of your workspace social medias. So your different brands are pouring into your social media, and you would just say, okay, I'm going to post for the Alliance chapter meetings on Tuesday. I would post for my speaking engagements on Mondays, or whatever it is fitting into that pager system or whatever themes you have. But I would actually go ahead and start scheduling out your posts and work on the graphics. If you already have graphics that you're like, oh, I have some really great graphics I've already done in Canva. I don't particularly like this. It's a real picture, but I think it's not too compelling. So I would probably pop something else in here or tell it to design something else. You can change whatever content you need. It already does your AI hashtags. You can put whatever. I've been telling it to do different captions and different social media platforms. But if you have different social media platforms you want it all in, you can just knock that out. Okay, great. We're good. Whoops, sorry, I need to move that. You can schedule it, and you can just start scheduling them out, you all. And so we're moving into, August, and you can just schedule these out, and you will see. I don't even know. I just scheduled this, but I can always delete it. I'm going to show. So it's scheduling the post right now. I actually don't know what I just did. So if I'm like, oh snap, I didn't mean to press that, I can just go right here and I can just delete that from that. When did it schedule? Let's see. Let's just see what's going on. I scheduled it for August sometime, didn't I? I don't know. I honestly don't. I didn't pay attention to what I did. But what I can do is just delete this because I don't know when it's going to post. So it's pink now because it's scheduled. But yeah, I don't want that to schedule. So we're just going to delete that. So that's what you can do. You can undo it. Don't feel like, oh my goodness, if I mess it up, Sonny can't redo it. He is designed to create a caption for everything he does. He can also now do emails, newsletters, and different things. You can have Sonny do that, which is really neat. That's pretty new as well. This is me having him write my YouTube extended description because I'm working on getting the social media up there. So other than thinking, I put in the brain a sample of what I want my YouTube description to be. And he does it every time, puts the links in and all of that. And if anything I change, he will make note of it and begin to change it for me as he promotes stuff. So the more you're working with them and training them, the obviously the better that they will do. All right, I did not realize we were at time. I was so excited. Let me go ahead and change my screen layout and take a few minutes to answer questions. All right, let me just do a normal one here. All right. Any questions or comments or anything like that as it relates to social media or anything else? Go right ahead. Anybody? You guys are all quiet on the front. Okay, let me see. Let me do the gallery look. All right. So that's how you begin to get your social media automated. And imagine if you just spend, and this is what we have to do no matter what we're working with. Oh, good. I'm so glad, Joanne, we answered it. Beautiful. How to upload your videos. Beautiful. If you guys have any more questions, feel free. A lot of you guys are like, look, I'm not on camera. Feel free to ask. If you think of something that you did not think of during the session that you want to answer for, feel free to email me. Any of the emails you receive, you can just respond to. Those go directly to my inbox. And then if you're like, okay, I'm onboarding, I need more basic conversation. You always can go to Marbleism. They have great customer service. You can set up a time. You can set up a time to meet with a person on their calendar, and Marbleism will do a one-on-one with you. They also do different user groups. They have a good knowledge base in terms of your training. I see a couple questions. Let me make sure I've answered them all. Is there a different brain for every workspace? Yes, there is. Because if you have a different workspace, it's probably a different brand. And so you're going to have a different set of uh, documents or different sets of videos, or maybe you want something just to promote a course. So there is a different brain for every workspace. Tony had to run to a meeting, no problem. Is there a limit to how much material can be uploaded? I have not seen a limit yet. So go for it. But right now there's no limit. And then when does the clock for monthly hours used begin? By calendar or the time we joined? They shifted over the to the new counting by hour. Before it was just unlimited. They started that on June 23rd. So if you signed up before June 23rd, you're grandfathered in, nothing changes for you, even as um you get, in the future it won't change. If it was post June 23rd, then you'll get a limit of 50 hours saved per week, and then not per week, excuse me, per month, and they will notify you if you're close to those hours. All right, so that's when it begins, and it's whatever day you signed up for. It's a calendar month. So I hope I answered that, Grace Marie. I hope I answered that. But I think I think you got your Marbleism before that, so it will not even apply to you. So you can ignore. It's not like they're shifting everybody over to the 50-hour limit. It's still the way it was. You're grandfathered into the way it was if you registered before June 23rd. Lastly, you all, let me give you the link to couple things. I want to give you the link to the playlist. It's kind of a long one, but I want to give you the live link. Here is the YouTube playlist that you can grab any past things. I'm going to send an email out to everybody in sometime today. It might be this evening before I can fully get to it. I am back in Seattle, here to work with my brother's team that I'm the COO for. So my stuff I'm fitting into the morning or the evening. But all of the videos are done and uploaded. I just have to upload the covers. And you're welcome to take a look at any of those videos. There's some good stuff up there. All right. Oh, you joined in July. Okay, no problem. So not a problem. Then your 50 hours, whenever you signed up, it's 50 hours. If you haven't gotten any notifications, it's just because you haven't hit the 50-hour. They'll tell you when you're about 10 hours out. But if you signed up in July and haven't seen that 50-hour limit, no problem. It's just because you haven't used that. It takes a lot to do the 50 hours saved. So no problem. I'm just glad you're at the party, Grace Marie. So glad. So with that, you all went a little bit over, but I hope that you all are able to have a method for your social media automation, and that gives you a context. I love frameworks, so I don't have to overthink things. Just get it in there systematized. And I am with you all. I am going to be setting my own up, taking some time. I've got these drafts sitting there. I've been posting kind of one off, but I really want to begin to use the schedule more. And then I have a distribution system off of Marbleism for my AI that I'm going to start bumping my Marbleism stuff into so it can be automatically distributing. And that's meetedgar.com if anybody's interested in that. And hopefully I'll be able to join Marbleism to that one day soon. So with that, you all, I'm so glad that this is valuable and continue to show up, Monique. You are welcomed anytime. My only catch is, y'all, you do have to sign up every week. I don't have the new August calendar out yet, but I will get that out. And then you can see what we're going to be doing. If there's questions you guys have, and you're like, Ericka, do a training on this, let me know. And I'm happy to dig in. My brain I synthesize a lot of information to be able to turn around and teach it really easily. Do I have a referral link for Meet Edgar? I do, Grace Marie. Hold on real quick. Um, Now this is me because I don't like to think twice. Let me grab it for you. But yeah, I love me some Meet Edgar too. Let me get my referral link here. All right, and I'll pop that in. So Meet Edgar is a distribution platform. And so, for example, you can load 40 posts up and it's going to automatically circulate those posts for you. On Marbleism, it'll pop it up once. Meet Edgar, I can take that or have someone take it, pop it in, the captions are run, and it's just going around it's just going around the clock for me. And it knows if I put new content in, it's going to do that first. So there's the affiliate. Um, Mind blown. Yeah, if you're still working on Marbleism, don't worry about you're not ready for Meet Edgar yet. Get your Marbleism set, get it trained to be able to do the type of graphics you like, nail your captions so you can just at some point, and I forgot to say this, y'all, you actually can tell it, I don't need to check the post anymore. Go ahead and schedule it. And then it begins to just be automated. But make sure you trust it. It has your voice down. And once you get it properly trained, you can automate this and not have to touch your social media anymore. So with that, oh, I shouldn't say that. You still will have to engage. There is not a way to engage. You can do Autobots and different things, but I really think it's important to engage. We can get our posting automated, but spend your time loving on the people who are taking the time to stop by your social media. All right, y'all. With that, let's go ahead and conclude. I'm going to get this to my video editor so she will be able to do this, and she's been turning him around within a day. I don't know that there's a lot that I would need to cover up in this one. I might just be able to upload it, but I'll get these uploaded. You'll get an email today with all the different topics that you can access and learn from. With that, you all, thank you for showing up. And thank you for letting me geek out with y'all. I love it. So with that, onward and upward to new levels of your business. I wish you all the best. Check out the Alliance if you're interested in being a part of a group of amazing women. We have some trainings that will take your business to high 6 and 7 figure businesses. So excited about it. With that, going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. And I'll see you next week. All right. Bye-bye.